Hi, this is a video about creating your best future. It's a way of changing the patterns of your life so that things work better. This video isn't hypnotic, and I mention that because I'm a hypnotherapist and some of my videos really are hypnotic. This is about a training program that's really important. And let me describe what goes on. The really important thing about this is to get your best future, to create what you want, the person you really want to be. And that means you go into the future, say in 6 months, and you create your best self in detail, very powerfully. It's using your imagination, pretending if you like, whatever, to have something extraordinary. So you get into your best future and you use your senses, internal and external, to identify what's going on. Now, here we are in 6 months in the future, your best future. So we say we've got 5 senses. More actually, but see, hear, feel are the really important ones. So you ask yourself, what can I see through my eyes and in my head? Pictures I form in my head. You also ask yourself, what can other people see when they look at me? And then you go into, what can I hear? What do I say to myself? What can I hear other people saying? And what do I feel? There's internal and external feeling. I can feel the cloth. I also can feel my emotions. Here I am in 6 months. What sort of emotions am I feeling? I create them. I choose them. After all, I want the best. Just pretend. And then you have smell and taste, which may or may not be important. For, say, somebody who's been smoking, obviously they can't smell smoke anymore and that things taste better. There may be smells from the garden or whatever it is that makes up your life into something fantastic. Now, the 6th sense for this purpose is movement. How am I moving? What am I actually doing? And you put a lot of energy into getting everything exactly right. Outside your comfort zone a bit, perhaps, but what you really, really want to be. And you do this intensely and do it several times a day. You keep repeating it, repeating it, repeating it. Because then what you do, now the traditional timeline stuff, which is quite important, is looking back over the 6 months, you can make plans for how you got from present self to here in your future self. But what's more important is you, as your future self, tell your present self what to do and how to be. Now, it may be straightforward. Get off your bum and do that project. Get it done. It may be a direction. Don't smoke. Don't eat that or drink that. Eat and drink these things. They're really fantastic for you. Solve that problem now. Set up a work program for you now that is effective. Phone those people you haven't phoned, whatever. You tell yourself out of the future what to do in the present. and then in the present you do it. Now, if you don't do it, then your future self isn't enough, isn't strong enough. And of course, for all of us, we've got negative thoughts. They have to be skipped because your future self, you don't want them. You don't want your future self to be thinking, oh, I'm a bit of a failure at this or something. No, your future self is fantastic. No negatives. So you then look back. And you can look back even further. Because if in your present self you've got some stuff like, oh, if only my father had done this, or I got bullied in grade 6, or that teacher in year 10 failed me, it was criminal, and that's why I'm a mess now. Or if you like me and you've got ADHD, you've got a whole lot of stuff to blame in the past. But if you go into your great future self, your real self, you don't have any of that. Of course, why would you want it? So you tell your present self, skip it, change it, get rid of the negatives. It's not part of you. Go into the power stuff. See, you've got two choices in the long run, fear or love. Love in its fullest sense. Fear in all sorts of manifestations. You don't want them. You want the love, the great stuff, the real you, fantastic. Because if you do this, you start to find an amazing change in your life. Because you start to know my future self, my real self, my absolutely true self, my becoming self, who I was born to be, is really running the show. Now, mentally, part of this is done by making an awareness, getting into it, feeling into it, experiencing it powerfully. But of course, in truth, you carry this around inside. This is the real inner you, the truth. In order to do this, you just make a commitment. You start asking yourself, who do I really want to be? And if I'm really the person I want to be, what will I be doing? In relationships, in family, in work, in imagination, in arts, in anything. Because you are then becoming. It can develop into something much more powerful than this. This is the basic stage, I think. But this is key to making changes in your life so that you become the best person you can be, you live your best life. I'll be doing more about this. I run a course on the subject. I'm David Townsend, incidentally. I'm setting up more material on it because I think it is really important, and the websites should be available attached to this video. I wish you well.